Maharishi, in your commentary on the Bhagavad Gita in the third chapter, it is stated, not finding fault and not speaking ill of others is counted an essential prerequisite to the realization of God and freedom from bondage. When a man speaks ill of others, he partakes of the sins of those of whom he speaks. How does speaking ill of others and finding fault slow down a man's progress and course in the nervous system? What are the mechanics involved?
Some people were talking about what? About food. So someone said, it does not matter much what goes in. What comes out matters most. It indicates what has been there. What comes out indicates what has been inside. So if the wrongs of some other people come out, that means the wrong was stored inside. It just tells the structure of the heart, what is contained inside there. So if someone never speaks ill of others, that means he has a pure heart. He doesn't have the wrong. Someone does some wrong. Something wrong was done by some man. Why should I bring that wrong through thinking or remembering and try to keep it in my heart? And if I speak, that means I had stored something of that. And if wrong is stored, then the heart is not pure. It just indicates what kind of storage is there. Whether purity is stored or impurity is stored or what is there. Speaking ill of others means first transplant the wrong of his heart in our heart. Transplant the wrong of his mind to our mind. And then let that plant grow into a tree till it comes out, manifold it comes out. The whole process is dragging to evolution. It drags us down. That's why amongst all the things, Lord Krishna said to Arjuna that I know you are a good recipient or deservant of this knowledge of freedom, because I haven't known from you any wrong of anyone. That means if you have not spoken out any wrong of anyone, that means you don't have any wrong in our heart. This is a measure. We never think ill of others, because if someone has done wrong, why should we bring in our heart and make our heart impure? It's not necessary. But if our heart is already impure, it will be picking its like from there and there and there and there and strengthening its quality. There is that proverb, no? Birds of the same feather flock together. If there is filth deposited in the heart, and then it will collect more filth from here, birds of the same feather flock together. And then whatever has been flocked together, it will start to fly out. It's not worthwhile, yes? Let us hear the voice of Greece. Scientific voice of philosophical Greece?
I'll use expressions from the United States, Maharishi.
That will be still nearer.
The people say, I went blind with rage.
Yeah, right. Such a beautiful expression of this country.
This exists in many countries. I'm using the English proverbs. They also said, I can't stomach him. I can't digest him, in other words.
Yeah.
It affects the digestion.
Yeah.
And or it gives me a pain in the neck. Or I carry a heavy burden and walk.
Right. So, it's no good. See how a scientist analyzes ancient sayings? It's not at all necessary to dwell on the wrongs of other people, no? Particularly in the family of meditators. One can't say, oh, that man behaves like that. How can he behave like that when he is meditating? That means the man doesn't know how much good has increased in him. He didn't see him 3 years ago. There is always an improvement and an improvement and an improvement. No? We never think any negative of anyone. Particularly because when we are meditating, our thought force is increasing, very greatly increasing. And if in this increased thought force we think low of someone, we are pushing him down to be that low. Never. Nor we think any wrong of others, nor we speak them out. Never. It's not necessary to use our time and energy of thinking and speaking on something which does not help us directly. Doesn't. A good businessman never invests his money on something which doesn't bring profit. Life is all business. You spend your energy, get joy, happiness, evolution, more ability to enjoy, more ability to create. And in this field, we spend our energy and time. We never use our time and speech, energy and our ability in something that does not improve our life, in something that does not help us to grow. It's not worth it. Never. That any thought in the subtle level will be very much more powerful than the thought in the gross level. But what we do is, we have understood that the thought is a projection of the physical activity of release of some stress. Now, that thought, our technique is come back to the mantra and go. Our technique does not involve maintaining the thought and thinking about it, or evaluating the thought, or analysis of the thought. It comes back, the mind comes back to the mantra, and then we are off that thought. But any thought that we consciously entertain at the finer level will certainly be million times more powerful than any thought we would otherwise entertain on the gross level. It will be very powerful. That is the reason why when we meditate and meditate and meditate and meditate, some months, some years, the normal level of our thinking becomes very refined. Every thought becomes significantly powerful and finds its way to fulfillment in a spontaneous manner.
The second question. Thought emerges from being and grows in concreteness until it is perceived on the conscious thinking level, traveling through the subtler levels of the mind to the less subtle levels. Does this journey of the thought take a certain amount of time, or are all the levels of the thought present simultaneously?
It takes time. Our experience in meditation shows when after 15-20 minutes one asks how many times you think you lost the mantra, and someone says maybe 2-3 times. That means there is some specific time taken to dive, and then again, and then again, and then again. So if in 20 minutes one has dived 3 times, then it may be that every 2 minutes he dived and then after 6 minutes he didn't dive. Or it may be that in 10 minutes he had first dive and then in another 10 minutes 2 dives. But sure enough, there was time taken for every dive. And then again from our experience we know, we experience the mantra and another mantra and another mantra and another mantra. So, one mantra, thought, another mantra, thought, third mantra, thought. It is in the field of time. It is like if someone has been thrown in a pool of mud or maybe water, and then you say, how can I come out? You say, put your left foot and right foot, and if he says, oh, you are asking me to put my steps on the mud, and then tell me how can I come out of mud? He said, that is the technique. Keep on putting your foot one after the other, and one foot will be out of mud. In time, our awareness goes from one field of time to another field of time. Step in time makes us put one step out of time. Eternity is gained. So it's only in the most intensified, from the most intensified state of ignorance, we start to track the field of ignorance, and then to less intensified ignorance, and then eventually one foot goes out of ignorance, completely in the field of enlightenment. So the path is that we can only start where we are, and where we are in the gross field of time and space. So from here we proceed towards finer regions of time and space till we come out of time and space.
The first time we repeat the mantra, say, it is not as subtle as it will be the next time. Now, when we repeat it that first time, it still has subtler levels to it, doesn't it, that we don't perceive?
Right.
Do those subtle levels come any amount of time before we perceive it on a grosser level, or is it all there at the same time?
Just as a bubble starts from the bottom of the lake and comes up, and now it's here on the surface. So, at every subtler level, there has been time consuming, developed, like that. Another bubble, and another bubble, and another bubble. And every bubble we experience in its oncoming subtler state. This is how, from one to the other bubble, succeeds in the finite state. The mind steps down like on a ladder, one step, one step, one step, one step, and there it is at the bottom, at the basis of all life.
I wonder if you know how long it takes for a thought to come out of being to the conscious thinking level.
Whole thing, you see. We know transcendental consciousness doesn't take much time. In 15 minutes, maybe 5 times you die.
But what I meant was, how long does it take me to think a thought right now? How long after that thought comes out of being at a subtlest level? How much time elapses? It must be a very small amount of time.
Very small amount of time. Because of our habit of thinking right from the time of birth. We have been thinking. So when we drive on the same road all the time taken becomes less and less and less. Somehow it becomes less and less. Because we become accustomed on that path.
Thank you.